Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world. I'm Sarah Jane, and this is Gift of Healing TV. Now, I'm not too sure what has happened to my guests for this evening. I've sent them the login, and I did ask them to join me so that we were ready to go live now. And I still don't know where they are. So I am going to hope that they have received the login, that they are going to join me, and that because they've not signed into the room. So my sincere apologies. I really don't know what's going on, and this side of things is really out of my control. But the best thing for me to do is start and hope that they manage to join me. And I know we've got people watching live. And if for any reason, Kelly and Areya, that is you two, please can you find the login email, sweethearts, and log into the live room. You're not meant to be watching it from registration. You're meant to be here with me. So I hope that this all sorts itself out. So let's start, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that everything goes well, because I have no idea what they were going to share with us, other than the fact it's Holiday Survival Guide for Lightworkers, Empaths and Starseeds. Oh, it looks like they've joined me. Excellent. Sweethearts, can you turn your cameras on for me, please?
Sure. We're having some technical issues, but
Yeah.
Video on. Okay,
Yeah.
hello.
Hello, brilliant. I'm pleased you are with me. So, folks, brilliant. Our guests have joined me. I don't know about if you two want to turn the bar off. Just press the little red button with the 3 white dots. That will give a bigger picture. I keep that open in case people have got questions. And when you're talking, I'm going to have you full screen, so don't worry about that. So we'll have you both. Welcome to both of you. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
And for sharing with us. It's much appreciated. I'm just going to share a little about our guests, having shared the title. Quantum Kelly is an ex-salesman who had an abrupt awakening in 2018. In the span of 6 weeks, he went from being a lifelong conspiracy theorist to an awakened individual on a spiritual path. Now he uses his extensive background in hypnosis for quantum soul healing and has a soft spot for helping people through rough awakenings. Is your name said Areya?
Yes.
Yes, I thought it was. Aurora has battled chronic illness, addiction, loss, homelessness, and abuse in her first 30 years of life, and has found it within herself to overcome it all. She is now a shaman, healing facilitator, and trance medium who specializes in empowering women to overcome trauma, addiction, mental illness, and step into their power. It is an absolute pleasure to have you both with us. Thank you very much for agreeing to join us and for sharing with us on the program. I say this evening because it's evening for me. I know it's morning for you, isn't it?
Yeah, late morning.
Yeah. So welcome and thank you for coming onto the program.
Thanks for having us. Kelly can't hear everything right now, but if, I'm trying to relay what I can. Okay, yeah. Good. You can kind of hear.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's brilliant. Well, it's handed over to you because if you want me to ask questions, I can. But do you want to start the ball rolling? Because you were going to come up with some thoughts and suggestions and possibly exercises for folks to help them through. And although we've said holiday survival, because we are coming up to the Christmas period, I think it's survival generally, to be perfectly honest, where we're out in the real world.
Yeah, exactly. The things that I'm suggesting for the holidays are the same things that have been my saving grace for the past few years, as far as just day-to-day living. Really, it's just you're faced with that stuff. I feel in excess during the holidays. It's the same kind of exercise I'd use in like an empath survival guide.
Excellent. So if I hand over to you, and obviously if you want me to come in with any feedback, just let me know. But I'm quite happy just to hand this over to you two. And I don't know whether we can get this to work where you don't need the headset, because I never use one.
So I could just unplug and we can both just
Well,
talk?
hopefully, but let's try it.
Okay, we'll give it a shot.
So can you hear me? But I can't hear you now. Oh dear. Do you need to plug it? I can't hear you. Oh, folks, I love technology. I really do. It supports us in so many ways, and it can have its little issues. So, sort of, Areya, you might just need to plug it back in, because although you may be able to hear me, I now can't hear you, which is probably because sort of you coming out and coming back in again. Which I'd prefer you didn't do, but if we need to do that. Right, I still can't hear you. No, I've lost your sound altogether. And your mic is definitely switched on. 1 minute, he says. Oh, bless, they're gonna come back in. I am sorry, folks. This is the one of the reasons I ask people to come on early, so that we can check all this stuff before we start. So those of you that have joined us, oh, Leslie, welcome and hello, Quantum Kelly and Areya. Thank you. Yes, my sincere apologies. Because I work live, I tend to work a little differently to those who record. But yeah, maybe this is a really good example of just getting on with it when things appear to go a little haywire and just being chilled with it. Because that's life. It really is. Things go wrong. Right, you appear to have joined us again.
Yes, can you hear now?
I can hear you.
Yay!
Excellent. So, folks, we are going to hand over. And as I said, I'm happy to come in when necessary, but I'm now going to be small and you two are big screen. It's all yours.
Awesome, awesome. So today we're talking about a little bit of holiday survival, and now for one who's awakening and going through like the ascension process, whether you identify as like a star seed, a light worker, a volunteer, that doesn't matter. The point is, whomever would relate to this is someone who's been who's gotten new information a long time ago, or just coming upon new information, and now we're dealing with our families who probably aren't going to understand, and new sensitivities, going to the mall, going to the store, crowds. So all right, the first thing I want to suggest is it's always good to always start off with a good baseline, right? So whenever we go somewhere, we want to make sure that we're not already like going crazy. So I want to do a quick grounding exercise, because that's been one of my huge saving graces with just keeping it together. What grounding does is you connect to the earth and you bring all of your energy to the present moment. When our energy has a tendency to be in the past, we can become depressed. If our energy has the tendency to be in the future, we could get very anxious. So that happy place is going to be the present moment. And I'm going to do like a somewhat quick version of this, probably just a couple of minutes, but you could totally make it shorter if you wanted to do it quick. And you could also extend it if you wanted more of a long therapeutic, like clear out. All right. So how I'd like to start this is we're first going to actually bring our attention to our heart center, try and get centered in the heart. And what I like to do when I do this is think of something that really evokes love and gratitude. For me, I think about this guy, and I think about my pets, my kitty cats and the dog. I just take a deep breath. And once I feel that flutter, once you feel that flutter in your chest, that tingle of love, you can use that and send that through your root and through your feet. You're going to make like a three-pronged cord, and then you're going to connect that to the center of the earth. Let that go down. And then we're going to allow that earth energy to come back up through our feet and up our legs and up through our root chakra. And it's going to cleanse and rejuvenate the root chakra, activating all the chakras as it goes up. Then it's going to hit the sacral, cleansing and clearing, past the solar plexus and the belly. These are all the lower chakras. Then it's going to move up the chest where the heart chakra is, cleansing and clearing, and up the arms, up the shoulders. Breathing deeply, it's going to continue moving up the throat and the neck, past the chin and the lips, and all the way up the head, going past the third eye and up the crown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this to keep going all the way through my upper chakras, and we're going to connect it to the center of the sun in that same cord. And then we're going to bring that sun energy down. And actually, the solar energy is good for people that have difficulty remaining in the present moment, which is why we like to use that too. So that sun energy is like source energy. It's going to come down through the upper chakras and down the head, down the crown, passing the brow and the face, going all the way down the head, moving down the throat and the shoulders. You want to remember to breathe and allow this light to come all the way down, down the chest and down past the solar plexus and down past the lower chakras. And it's also going to move down our legs and down our feet. And then that energy is also going to anchor to the center of the earth. And we're just going to expand all these energies to be as big as we need it to be in this present moment. It should make this big vortex. We can expand that out. And just know that as these energies are activating and clearing, they're being sucked down to the center of the earth to be used for new life, transmuted and used for new life. So Gaia is very thankful for that. And it's also being pulled to the center of the sun to be transmuted for source. So you just want to take a big deep breath, and whenever you're ready, you can wiggle your toes and your fingers and open your eyes. And an exercise like that, it gives me a good like baseline for the day. And you might be thinking, well, you say you could do it for that amount of time. You say you could do it longer or shorter. How do I know when I'm really done? Well, that's going to be different depending on your personality, depending on everybody has psychic senses. So when I mean this, I mean everybody's psychic senses is a little bit different. They're primary ones. So I am a feeler and a seer, but the feeler comes first. So I really know I'm done, even if I'm my third eye is distracted. I know I'm finished because I can feel it. I can feel those tingles. But there are some people who use their sense of knowing more, and if you just kind of know, that's absolutely fine too. Here, Kelly wants to talk.
Hey, Sarah Jane, how you doing?
Hi, Kelly. Lovely to have you on.
One thing that I just want to bring forward in this time is I know everybody's been through Thanksgiving already, and I hope we went through it well and it was smooth sailing. Um, you have work functions and holiday parties and the crowded malls and things like this, but for me, another thing that a lot of people are confused about, people have awakened so much this year. People say, "Oh, 2020 was a rough year." I think it was a great year. I mean, I've just seen our ranks burgeoning, and that means there's a lot of new people are into it. They're just getting used to being sensitive, but they also know a lot of new stuff, a lot of neat new stuff that they maybe want to share, and we wonder, what should I say, what should I not say? I mean, I have several friends in my line of work with the quantum healing. I run into a lot of people that have been institutionalized by caring family, and have gotten out because they weren't crazy. But if you're hearing voices, what what are they supposed to think, right? And so, anyways, we do want to kind of be a little bit careful with what we share. And the other thing I see a lot of is that people are kind of new to the light working. They want to rescue everyone and fix everyone. And I just feel like it's not up to us to awaken anyone. If somebody comes and asks me a question, I'm going to have answers for days. You can believe that. But right.
I was going to
Right.
speak. And some of us are like, kind of reformed wild childs, and we kind of have this urge, well, look what I've been doing. I've been talking to angels, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. And that, number one, people, like a lot of people just aren't going to get it. And number two, those that kind of do, they might start to feel left out. So that kind of stuff you just don't want to, you kind of want to leave alone during the holidays unless you're asked what you've been up to. And then just keep it big. I've been doing a lot of spiritual work and I feel great. When the I feel greats keep on happening year after year, then eventually they're going to be like, well, whatever she's doing is working. I want to know more.
If it comes up and people start looking at you funny, right? The one thing that I do say, and if it's people that care about you, this will matter, right? I say, I have the best diet I've ever had. I'm clean and clear of drugs and alcohol, and I wake up every day in a great mood. And the voices I hear only tell me to do good things. So if I'm crazy, then everybody should be crazy like me.
The voices I hear tell me to love and give hugs.
Right, right. But other than that, I think sitting around the dinner table, it's not the time to awaken somebody or fix somebody, or I feel like a lot of that comes from our own ego, because now we know something, we want to do something, right? And so just use your discernment, tread with caution, and err on the side of being cautious, because this stuff can, you could certainly call your brother, your sister, your uncle, your nephew next week on the phone if you want to talk about this stuff that's not in front of everybody. Okay.
I'd like to chip in here and basically
Yeah.
say that, sort of my own youngest sister had done her level 2 Reiki before I'd even heard of it, but she hadn't said anything to the family, and this was this was nearly 20 years ago, sort of. But when I mentioned I was doing it, she's like, oh yeah, no, I've done that. She kept quiet about her psychic writings and some of the things that she's been able to do. I've got a whole group of friends that are not into this type of thing, but every now and again, they'll ask me a question. And I love it when they do. But we allow people to come to us when they are ready. It is, yeah, as you said, it is not for us to change them. Just live the way you do, have that energy. And it's just like, Sara, you're always cheerful. How can you always be cheerful? Because of that love of life, that love of self, that love of everything.
Exactly. And there's the whole part of, a lot, there's, we have family that are, stuck in certain things, and we want to, we want to be saying something like, you have to follow your heart and don't believe anything, but then, listen to me and believe what I believe. Like, this is why people have to come to you and ask, because, if you're telling them what to do, you're just telling them what to do, like all the other books, and, it's humility. Nobody likes a know-it-all too.
I just want to say one thing is that unsolicited advice, there's an under the water thing that comes with that, because whenever you give somebody unsolicited advice, you're saying I'm better than you. Right? I know more about you on this topic.
Or at least that's what's being heard.
Yeah, right. That's what they're going to hear, right? And so now when it's solicited and somebody says, "Hey, I'm having trouble with my girlfriend. Can you help?" Yeah, man, let's talk, right? But if I just come up and say you're doing everything wrong with your girlfriend, I mean, what's that going to do?
I think what you've got to realize there is don't give advice. You make suggestions. Somebody tried, and the people have heard this from me before. Somebody gives me advice, my back goes up and I don't listen. Somebody makes a suggestion, shares a little information, and gives me the choice of what I do with it. I'm more likely to listen and potentially take it on board. But because I have choice, and that's the important word I think here is we get rid of the word advice. We use the word something like suggestion, where we're giving people a choice. Do you know what? If this isn't right for you, that's fine. You've asked a question. I've answered it the best I can with the knowledge that I have and what feels right for me. If it doesn't feel right for you, that's fine. And I think that's really important for people to have a choice.
Absolutely. I agree with that everybody should have a choice. And, going back to just the holidays, because it's the holidays, you want to keep things light. You want all the memories with your friends and families to be happy. You want to avoid just like, anything else like religion, politics, all that mess. And let's keep it light, materialistic and stuff, fluffy. Well, not materialistic, but like physical and fluffy.
Stuff everyone can understand.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I love these new shoes. Oh, look at the weather, it's snowing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you've had a great
I love
year,
this food.
right? We're very happy to be together. Yeah, right.
Can't really hear what you're saying, Kelly, unfortunately.
I'm just saying, we love being together. Look at this great food. Yeah, the positive, easy stuff. I think Areya has another exercise she wants to do.
Yeah, I have another exercise. This one is good because it's also that the grounding gives you a little shield, but this is also like if you're just in the moment and you need something to do quick and you don't have much to think about. What you could do is you could call your higher self or one of your guides. If not my higher self, Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael are really great at this with me. I just asked them to send a beam of, either white light or diamond light or violet light down or blue light even. And just to clear me out and relax me. And this is especially if I start to get like stressed out or really upset about something. And then I visualize this light coming down. They're sending it down through my crown and throughout my whole body and just giving me a little bath, a little shower. And then, because I'm feeling a little sensitive, what I do is I just make that light into a bubble and then hold that visual for about 20, 30 seconds to solidify it. And that should help give you a little shield. And if you're just in the moment you need to calm down, you could ask out louder to yourself, look, my higher self, my avatar self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, thank you for sending down light and for helping me calm down. And thank you for making a shield so things can't penetrate my aura as easily. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you will. And, that's something you could just duck into a bathroom and do.
Oh, and another one for me is Archangel Shamuel, the angel of love. And you talked about the bubble, and it was absolutely, you can ask for a pink bubble of love to surround you.
Absolutely. Pink's another great color. That rose quartz energy just makes you feel like home again. Sure, here.
One of the things we want to say is too is that there's no right way or wrong way to do something, right? This is about feel. Areya tends to be much more detail oriented than I am. She will do this intricate bubble shield where she's like using her Reiki and putting it on all sides of her and doing prayers to 27 different angels, and it takes her a half hour. She may do it twice a day, or she might do it once every other day, just as needed. And she'll put a lot of energy into it, and she'll feel a lot better before she goes to sleep or something like this. It's not the kind of thing that you could do out in the parking lot if you're walking into a crowded mall, though, right? And the way I tend to do things is I don't care how they work. I just only care that it works, right? And right, and so I could be walking from my car to the front door of the place, and I just think to myself, activate shield. I've done the shield many times. I know what it looks like, right? Boom, like this. So I'm going to walk in and I'm going to say, like, activate shield, activate Taurus, activate Merkaba, activate connections to earth and source, and just boom, 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 pow, 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 boom. I'm ready to go, right? As I'm walking into the front door, I'm gonna feel much better when I walk into the place, and hopefully set the intention of things to more bounce off of me and not be absorbed by me, right?
Because he's the knowing type. He's the knowing type. He just has to know that it's there. I need to feel it to know it.
I think the most important word there, though, that was intention.
Mm-hmm.
When I've been doing things for a long time, I set things in motion. It's just like, okay, I hold the energy for that. So when this happens, I'm one of these people that every time I hear a siren vehicle, ambulance, police, fire engine, it doesn't matter what it is, I've just set the intention that when I ask Archangel Raphael for help, for healing, I don't have to be a big long sentence. I just say, Archangel Raphael, please. That's it. So you can set an intention. You can make things shorter, having put the whole thing originally in place. And I'm with you, Areya. I really am. Every morning it's the gratitude. Every evening it's the gratitude. It's also the asking for support and being grateful for that in advance. And we can do that. And the more often you do something, you can do it much quicker. But it's really nice occasionally to be able to settle in and do it a bit longer and give it a little bit more time.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's what I meant for that grounding exercise at first. Like sometimes it's really nice to extend it out into like a 20-30 minute thing where you just kind of focus, you know, your mind on clearing each chakra and the meridians one by one. And that could be nice sometimes, but then also there are times when that's not appropriate or that's not possible.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So any other things that you'd like to share with us?
Just that, you know, remember what, you know, we've all been, you know, at least a little bit, you know, asleep at one point, you know, remember how that feels, and remember that it's not just people being stuck in their beliefs. You know, I think what a lot of people don't realize is that, you know, sometimes people talk about these abilities and these new things, you know, we make our friends and families feel a little bit left out, because if they don't understand, and it's like, oh, who's she, you know, and or who's he, and they think they're so cool because they're doing this and that, blah, blah, blah. You know, they could feel a little left out and a little, you know, separated. So, you know, best to just keep it at light stuff for holidays and gradually build up to more things.
And I think you're totally right. I mean, I suppose because of the number of years I've been going through it, I've never forced any member of the family. As I said, my youngest sister kept it quiet. She hadn't told the family. I came out and told them that I was doing my level 1 Reiki. Earlier this year, I'd been speaking soul language for a couple of years. And my middle sister and my mum didn't know about it. My youngest sister did, because she and I can talk about it openly. But my mother's reaction was, oh, can I hear that? Oh, that is a real language. Oh, that sounds amazing. Things come when they give them a chance to come naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And they come when it's ready rather than forcing it. And yes, if for a while we keep more of it to ourselves, then fine. It will come out when it's with this group of friends. I have friends that do it all and the friends that don't, you know. But they know that about me. Let them come to me when they are ready. Because
Exactly.
the more we push it, the more we're likely to push them away from it. Whereas if they just watch us and experience the energies we obviously are feeling, the way we are being, that calmness, that joy we have of life, that not letting things get to us. Oh, they still do get to me, but most of the time I can be very calm about it. Doesn't always work, but it's just trusting that and knowing that that will probably speak louder than our words can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here.
You know, I didn't hear everything you said there, so hopefully I'm not saying just the exact same thing. But one thing that I like to try to keep in mind is a sacred neutral perspective, right? So this is non-competitional, non-hierarchical order, non-judgmental. There's no one right way to do a thing. There's no one wrong way to do a thing. And we have to understand that. It helps us so much better to not get uptight when we see something being done a different way than the way we would want it done or the way we do it, right? That's not the only way. And there's not, you know, we tend to be this, like, the first way somebody taught you, that's the way it is. And somebody can come teach you a better way and you're like, oh, that's not how I got taught, right? And so, you know, if we try to stay in that sacred neutral perspective, that a lot, like Areya is always saying she wants to be in the now. I'm always thinking about I want to be in a sacred neutral perspective, and they're kind of the same thing in a way, but they're both places and perspectives that will help you to stay calm and to not sweat the small stuff, you know?
Oh, it's very much about, there are many different ways to do things. There are plus the fact not everybody, resonates with everything. We can't all see things that are happening. We can't all hear. I don't hear voices. I don't see things. I'm a trust being, and I totally am in trust. You know, so when somebody comes to me who can see and hear, it's like, oh, great. But they may not be feeling that, because I've had somebody who can see and hear and turn around and say, oh, Sarah, I wish I could be more like you.
Yeah.
We're great for wanting things to be different, you know, have the things that other people have got, you know. But it's lovely, isn't it? We are the way we're made.
Mm-hmm.
There's, as you said, no right way, no wrong way, just the way that works for you.
Yeah, and you know, the abilities we have for a reason, you know, our strengths and everything, and the things that aren't strengths are just there to you know, what are weaknesses? They're opportunities to build other strengths. You think, you know, actual strength came just naturally, like, oh, I was just made this way. No, it came from making mistakes, being weak, and learning how to be strong from that.
But I don't even think it's being weak. It is just that's a stepping stone to the next.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know, I just want to say, it's like, and we're worried about everybody else, but take it easy on yourself, people. Take it easy on you. Be forgiving. Allow yourself to make mistakes, but just don't let your ego make you have to give everybody all this knowledge you got in the last year. Okay, you'll have your time.
Yeah. You know, what you'd get from that is a lot of resistance and a lot of, like, you know, at best you'll have people like, well, they sound smart, but I don't understand what they're saying, and they're not going to try to understand at a holiday function. They're just going to be like, oh, whatever.
I think it's a family get together. You've got some that believe, some that don't. You know, it's like having loads of different religions in a room. You know, so,
yeah, I mean,
and just
plant a seed whenever you want. If you want to plant a seed and see if it comes to fruition later, that's great. You know, you can always plant a seed here and there.
Yeah.
But just, you don't want to dive too deep.
Yeah, the planting, and that, I think that's just what it is. It's how we are can plant that seed, and that's really, really important. It really is. Yeah, absolutely. So is there anything else that you'd like to share with everybody?
The only other thing I want to share, and you know what I'm going to say about this, is you could probably find a video on YouTube to find out how to do it, is after when you get home and everything, and even from the store, dissolve cords. And I mean, real quick, what you could do is these cords you could visualize as like little snakes, you know, going everywhere, and then you just visualize them dissolving and your energy coming back to you and everyone else's energy leaving. But you could find a meditation for that on YouTube. Just Google cord cutting, cord dissolving.
Yeah, Archangel Michael's great for that.
Pick up a cord for them, or you could leave one on them too, for that matter. And even as close as Areya and I are, we still cut cords between us because we know we can make new ones anytime we want.
Yeah, I don't need to be distracted by him in the few moments I have without him during the day. So we dissolve the cords.
No, and those type of things are really important to consider. They really are. So sort of, I know this has been your share, but would you like me to finish this? Because I never know with soul language, what I call soul language, what other people call light language. But I do consider it to be our soul language. Would you like me to share a message that will hopefully touch people at the soul heart level, but won't know what I'm actually saying? Because I won't.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're happy, then we'll finish off with the light language, soul language, whatever people want to refer to it. And all I would say is, please just feel the energy of it. This is about feeling. It's not about understanding. Yeah, it's not about understanding. Kancheren te intio kumalana te ishti. Amporomo iki antaranishti iki anaitai. Orlainai I arnushtai I kamata I ioyote. Palanteren che I kiamota. Ilaro naiche ki imitioko. Palantera neushti. O kore anai ai iko kuika. Lerente ishtai inaka mute. Irloi nai ika ampanchete. In karalaite irloi nai chetia. Pantene kunchi itiaka. Entere noichi ikia. Pelea ranako. Entere ishte tanta ekerai luinai chamaka. Namaste.
That was beautiful. Namaste.
That wasn't a
Well-
dragon language.
Oh, I've met somebody recently who, and it sounds just like parcel tongue from the Harry Potter films. And that's symbols. So that's fascinating. So there is so much out there, and it's just, if something feels right for you, then that is right for you. And I think that's the easiest way to put it. If it feels wrong, just step back from it.
Mm-hmm.
Discernment. So important in everything.
Discernment.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think this life, you might look at it as an exercise in discernment, really. We've been communicating with some angels that have, we don't call them fallen angels because it's not the right term because they volunteer. But they go back and they spend some time doing dirty deeds and they go back to being an angel for a while. And it's like, what did you learn? Well, I learned that, not to judge people harshly, and that there's just so many temptations everywhere in front of everybody and so many distractions everywhere in front of everybody that it almost seems like this life is just a big practice in discernment. I think really, when you get right down to it.
I hope people caught that. I was just about, folks, you might need to turn the volume up at times. But
Sorry.
yeah, I was able to hear it, but yeah, it's volume turning up. So sort of, but no, that is brilliant. Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing.
Thank you.
The minute I stop recording, we'll all get kicked out the room, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But I will send you the link to this tomorrow. But thank you for sharing, folks. Their information is on the Gift of Healing TV website on the About Us page with how you can connect with them. And if you're watching the video, then I will make sure that that is underneath, so that if you wish to contact Quantum Kelly and Areya Aurora, please feel free to do so. We have all got so much more to offer than this little bit here, but this was just sort of hopefully a couple of exercises to support and some information to support you through. And we're going through stressful times anyway, without having the holiday season come up with us.
Yeah.
So using the roots down, grounding, balancing chakras, etc. All of this, asking the angels for support is something I do on a daily basis. Maybe that's why I find myself mostly being so calm. Anyway, take care, folks. Thank you very much for joining us.
Namaste. Thank you. And thank you. We love you. And namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, folks. No questions, but Leslie did say hello to you. So I'm assuming you know who Leslie is. Anyway, folks, take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.